Hey there folks, and welcome back for another shaving video. It's been a long time. I've been on sort of summer sabbatical. Let me move that camera just a little bit. It looks better, if you will. So this one might go a little while. I've been getting a lot of words of encouragement and support. So I figured I'd just shoot a video and let you guys know I'm doing fine. Just been busy around the house and work and just really trying to unplug a little bit from social media. Due to all the world events and divisive nature of the way things are going right now. But before I get into that, I love this soap. Sterling, I don't know how you say that. I mean, in the month or two I've been gone, I certainly haven't learned to pronounce things. So this smells like Aqua de Parma. It's great. It's like Triple X or Katie Bubbles Parma Inspiration. Oh, I've used this like 5 or 6 days in a row, and I never do that with a soap, but I've been in my off time using soap many days in a row to get a better feel for it, because I think you do get a better feel for it. And I gotta tell you, scent strength on this is excellent. The soap itself, quality is excellent. I love it. This is one of my favorite soaps, and it's right there with Razor Rock Triple X and Katie's Bubbles Parma Inspiration. At this point in time, I got to tell you guys, there's no need to buy Aqua de Parma, because you got things like this and Parma Inspiration and Triple X. I mean, $70 plus. You're really getting nothing more than a nice container. It does have a little bit of nuanced menthol in there. It is a very nice cream, but for the money for this is excellent. This is one of the things that I recommended to Rob. I'm like, hey, did you ever consider making an Aqua de Parma type scent? And he did, and it's great. I really like it. So we'll use it today. I'm using my Razor Rock synthetic, very inexpensive brush that is great. And I'm going to be using a brush that Shane sent me from Blackland razors. I think that's the name of it. I've been out of it so long I don't even remember. I got a prototype of this when it was made, and it was a little rough around the edges, but I still liked it. But I got to tell you, the refined version is much nicer. I've had this for several weeks. I used it for a week or two straight, and I'm using it again on video because this really is a nice razor. Very grippy handle. I got to tell you, one of the things I really like about it is the way the blade locks in with these posts. I really like this design. You see those posts. So that blade, it's very easy to get in there. No problem at all. Astra SP blade that I'm using, or Astra Green. Very nice razor here. Much more refined than the prototype version. It's a thank you, Shane, and I will be sending this back, although I really like it a lot. It's a great razor. All right, let me wet the face and we'll get going and we'll get to blabbing. Stay by. All right, it's been a long time. And again, I sort of withdrew because, and I do this from time to time, when things get a little uncomfortable or if it's not fun, I just don't do videos, and I tend to withdraw from social media. Despite contrary belief, I'm not a guy who really craves attention. I can go for months on end without it. I don't need it. I got a full plate in my life. I don't really need any additional attention, but I do enjoy interacting with the shaving community and doing the videos when I feel like doing them. When I'm enjoying myself, it's a great deal of fun. And when things are divisive in the world, and I see a lot of things that I feel are out of line or negative in social media and or the world, I tend to withdraw a little bit, because I don't want to be arguing with people. And of course, Leroy's barking there. Very nice shaver this razor is. I really like it. Thank you, Shane, for letting me try it. And I have used this quite a bit, and it's really a good razor. So if you're interested, you can go on over and check that out. Blackland razors. Very nice razor. This is the long-handled version. It's efficient but not overly aggressive. I find it does a very nice job of shaving. A few days I went a couple of days without shaving, and it just cut right through the beard with no problem at all. So it's a very nice shaver. All right, so First pass, quick and easy. This is, I think this version, which is the production version, is more smooth than the prototype I had. The prototype in particular was a little rough around the edges. This one much more refined, so very, very nice. Stay tuned for pass 2. All right, so we move on to pass 2, and again, this sub, I love it. Excellent. Really, really excellent. Anyhow, all the stuff going on in the world with the anti-police sentiment and the terrible incidents, particularly with the black community and situations with the police that, you know, I don't think anybody or any reasonable person can make the case that black people or African Americans have not gotten the, you know, short end of the stick in terms of interaction with police over the years. But on the other hand, to generalize and make it seem that all police are out to get black people or kill them or harm them, or and that there's some war on black people, you know, I think that it's very irresponsible to make that sort of argument, because it's not true. Again, we're not 1960s in this country. There is still a lot of work to do. You know, don't get me wrong, but we are not in 1960 in the Deep South, and I think we have to recognize it. And when we start to, you know, do the things we've done with antagonizing the police and vilifying the police, usually good things don't happen. The police are on edge, it just makes things worse. Now, that said, when the police are using their authority inappropriately, it needs to be handled. No good cop likes a bad cop. They don't. I realize that, you know, there's a history of cops do tend to cover each other. But on the other hand, you have to understand, just like if you were a black man, I can't really understand what it's like to be you because I'm not you. You probably can't understand, unless you've been a police officer, what it's like to be in their shoes, what they have to deal with. Because although we've seen the shit show Cop and other things on TV, we really, or you guys who haven't been police officers, don't understand what it's like to be constantly antagonized, attacked, spat on, you name it, shot at, fought at all times, resisted. The number one reason that things go south in interactions with police is resistance. Most police, even bad ones, are not just going to pull you out of your car and commence to beating you. However, if you resist, that's when bad things happen. So my advice for everyone is comply with the police, be courteous, and go on about your business. Now, sometimes you're going to get a bad cop and they're going to antagonize you. Still, in that case, be polite, be courteous, then go file a report, a complaint, what have you. Don't confront the police, because only bad things happen. It's just a fact. All right, stand by. We'll come back for pass 3. I saw a video not too long ago, and it was a young man in a city. He was a young black man. He was on a bicycle, and he was driving sort of under some, he was driving on a sidewalk in front of a storefront. And apparently that town has an ordinance that you can't ride bicycles on the sidewalks. A lot of cities have that for obvious reasons. There are pedestrians there and so on. Anyway, there was a female cop that confronts the young man, asks him for ID. Instead of just providing said ID, he begins to argue. And then it goes south. More times than not, if you just comply and do what they ask you to do, although they may not be pleasant, and they should be professional and pleasant, you'll have a much better interaction with the police. When you begin to resist, they're going to obviously, it's human nature, they're going to obviously start fishing for things and looking for ways to hem you up. And, you know, a lot of that is human nature. It doesn't make it right. But I think we can all agree, if you were in their shoes and everyone was always giving you a hard time, from time to time you'd probably get upset too. That said, there's no excuse for killing of anybody, and particularly black males or minorities when there's no justification for it. But I think you'll find that in most cases where there's a police shooting, not all, but most, there's some level of resistance there. It doesn't mean that deadly force is warranted. It doesn't mean that. But you'll find that escalation tends to lead to that. And in almost every case, had the individual just complied with the police, they probably would have not ended up in the scenario that they ended up in. And that is not, again, to in any way justify a bad shooting or killing of someone. But compliance tends to really minimize these sort of altercations, in my view. And I've done the job, so. And I've also been a correctional officer. And let me tell you, folks, when you work on a job where every fifth person who comes back through the back door is looking for a fight, even when they're in handcuffs, all right, you have police bringing these people through the back door to be booked. And they're wanting to fight with handcuffs on. I don't think the average individual understands what that's like. So consider the police officer. They've already fought with them. Now they come into the jail and they're looking to fight with you. It happens. I live this day in, day out. So while we certainly don't understand, white folks, what it's like to be in the shoes of a young black man who's being targeted or pulled over for nothing, and we can't understand that. I think we have to be honest, and we should be sympathetic, if that's the proper word. Sometimes I don't get sympathy and empathy correct, but anyway, we should understand that, and we should have some regard for that. But we also have to understand on the police side of things, they're an individual too. They're working a very difficult job where split-second decisions can end up in life and death. And sometimes they don't do the right thing. But most of us, or most of you who have never done this job, you're not necessarily in split-second decision type jobs where it can mean life or death. So you don't understand what it's like to be in their shoes. So what this requires is both sides trying to understand the other. And I think the Dallas sheriff, and I forgot his name, said it best. If you have a problem with the police, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. Put in an application. Go and apply at your local PD. Try to make a difference that way. Be a good cop. Go and be a good cop. And I think you'll also learn some perspective in the process of that. All right, let's rinse the face and let's come back and do our pose. Stay tuned. I want to thank a few people when while I'm putting on my Magic by Thayer's Witch Hazel. Tim Berger, sent me a very wonderful gift that I'll be showing in a video soon. Thank you very much, Tim. I really appreciate the kind gifts and the kind words. And the folks at Razor and Brush, John Perry and Zach Plavridis specifically, sent me a nice mug with R&B on it, which is really, really nice, which I also appreciate. And for you folks at R&B, I'm still with you. I find it much easier in this climate to sort of step away. It's tough, when you have strong opinions and strong feelings, and you're sort of on the other side of arguments in terms of the police thing, at least. It's tough to get on Facebook and see all these hateful things about police, and conversely, hateful things about minorities, and it's just tough. And sometimes, I'm just not looking to argue with folks. I'm not looking to, have a debate. But it's in my nature, when I see wrong, it's in my nature to want to right it. And so rather than to have to argue with people, it's easier just to disconnect. And so that's why I disconnect. It's not because I don't want to be around any of you guys, particularly in R&B. Don the Navy guys like that. I did get your email and I appreciate it, Don. I've just, like I said, I've been disconnected. David Fernicola, I could go on and on and on. Tom Brim sent me a wonderful gift as well. The support is really amazing, and it's what's really had me doing these videos, because I'm like, I got to go out, say something to these folks. And by the way, I used XXX aftershave. This is fantastic. Guys like Justin Clark from Shave Revolution, Rod from Sterling, Joe from Italian Barber, just wonderful people, tremendous support, and I want to thank you. And I will be back. I think I'll be definitely doing more stuff in September. That's when the weather starts to change. It's still warm enough, but right now we're in the peak of summer. Still doing things, you know, outside and around the house. Still working hard, and just trying to do my thing, as it were. But I did want to give everyone an update, just let you know how I'm doing. Things are going well. I can't really complain, apart from the divisive sort of climate we're in. You know, family-wise, it's going great. Shaving-wise, it's going great. And by the way, thanks again, Shane. Great razor here. We'll need to send this back. I will miss it because I think this is a wonderful razor. And of course, last but not least, we had our Razor Rock. I forgot what we called it. See, I'm totally out of it. Anyway, this is the synthetic. It's like 12 bucks. What a steal. I mean, just great stuff. And once again, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this guy. This is one of the best replications of Aqua de Parma right here. Sterling, however you say that. I won't attempt it. I mean, let's be honest. Oh, a final shout out to CP down in Brazil. The Olympics is coming. We were talking about that a little bit yesterday. Happy for you, Claudio. I hope everything goes well. I'll be watching with you. I do like to watch sports. Saints are up here in West Virginia in training camp at the Greenbrier. Man, I gotta tell you, Drew Brees, what a class act. They had some severe flooding, so much so that their professional golf tournament was canceled. PGA Tour event was canceled. And Drew Brees was up there helping build a playground in the local community. Just what a class act. And other Saints players as well. So I want to thank those folks and just let you Saints fans know about that. Looking forward to football season. Looking forward to coming back doing some videos. Thank you guys, and stay tuned. There'll be more coming, I'm sure. Thanks for watching.